The Independence Community School District and Independence Light and Power are proud to present the 5th and 6th grade holiday concert, featuring the students of this year's 5th and 6th grade band and choir. This presentation is made possible with the support of friends of the AV Tech Club and Music Program, Independence Light and Power Telecommunications, serving Independence and surrounding areas with phone, internet, cable, and electrical needs, and West Music, helping beginning music students find the perfect first instrument since 1941, with locations in Coralville, Marion, Cedar Falls, Decorah, and Dubuque. Now to center stage and the 5th grade band.
And I'm the high school band director here at Independence, and I will be the narrator for this evening's 5th grade band's first performance. Good evening, moms and dads, brothers and sisters, grandparents, aunts and uncles, friends and neighbors. It's always a thrill for us to present these young musicians in their first performance. We know you will be pleasantly surprised at what they have accomplished in just a few short weeks. They are going to demonstrate what has been learned up to this point in their brief but successful musical careers. After learning how to take the instruments out of the cases and assembling them, they finally got to do what they wanted to do for a long time, produce that first sound on their instruments. It sounded something like this. Well, it was obvious they had some challenges facing them for the next few days. You agree? Yes. The second week proved to be quite eventful. Mrs. Lang patiently worked with the band until they could produce their first note. Now they sounded like this. Quite an improvement, but they needed a little more work before they were ready for this demonstration performance. Producing that first note allowed them to proceed to the first lessons where they learned to count while they played. This is necessary to perform together. Then they added a different rhythm or beat to those first notes, and it began to take on a whole new sound. Well, this may be more interesting than the first notes, but it's still not a complete tune that you'd go around humming all day. They added a couple of new notes and discovered that they could start playing some recognizable tunes. This might have been the moment at home when you felt for the first time that the music lessons were starting to take hold. This is what they sounded like at school that day. Now, I don't want to bore you with all the mechanics of the next few lessons, but as the band members began to complete these lessons, everyone was convinced that this was going to be a great beginning band. Here is one of their favorite pieces. Although time doesn't permit us to have each student perform individually, we have asked a few students to demonstrate the sounds of the instruments. So let's hear from Summer Anderson, Addison Barnes, playing Jingle Bells on the flute. Now let's hear from some clarinetists as Abby Payton, Ryan Goldenstein, Izzy Johnson, and Grace Price play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. here is the sound of the alto saxophone demonstrated by Carson Bance and Sidney Schrader playing Sweetly Sings the Donkey. And now on to the high brass family. Now as trumpet player, Hannah Snyder plays Shoe Fly. Now let's hear from some of our low brass as baritone players Lucas Williamson and Lucas Dinger, also known as Lucas Squared. They play Hot Cross Buns. And finally, let's hear from our percussionists as they play a rock beat. Well, the band has come a long way since they produced that first sound and have worked hard to be able to prepare this first performance in such a short time. This is certainly an exciting evening for us, and we're glad that you're here. Support at home is vital if your son or daughter is to continue to grow in their band career. Independence has one of the finest band programs in the state, and your interest can make all the difference in the world. We will have our next performance on March 2nd here at the Junior Senior High. Please plan to join us so you can enjoy the band performing together as well as follow their progress in musical growth. We will now present our last selections: Bugler's Dream, We Will Rock You, and the Hay Song. requires some audience participation as well. The Hey song, you know what to do.
Stick around as the combined 5th and 6th grade choir performs more holiday favorites after the break as the Independence Community Schools Holiday Extravaganza continues.